Okay, so besides all the work that you've done with my dad and me over the past few years, who were some of the other artists that you've worked with? Can you tell us a little bit about those people?
Oh, well,
Your experiences?
when I first moved to Nashville, 1981, Steve Warner was playing bass for Chet Atkins, and Steve Warner's career just blossomed
Of course.
overnight, you know.
Yeah.
And so I played a session at Oak Valley Studio, and Curtis Young, singer with the Jordanaires, he said, along with the drummer, said, "Hey, we have a gig for you. You're a young kid, just moved to town. We got a gig for you." And I said, "Nah, I'm a studio guy. I don't play out, you know." And they said, "Well, you might want to consider this. It'd be Chet Atkins." And I said,
Oh my gosh.
"Oh my goodness, you know,
Yeah.
Chet Atkins."
Where do I sign?
So I met with Paul Yandell, his second guitar player, and he said, "Yeah, they recommend you highly." So I got the job going on stage and playing with Chet Atkins, replacing Steve Warner,
Wow, I
which was
never knew this.
really big shoes to place, because not only was he a bass player, but he was a good friend of Chet's and an excellent guitar player.
So yeah, you did.
And so I've kept up with him over the years. And when he sees me, he says, "Yeah, I remember you. You're the one that replaced me." But I was only with Chet for about a year, and then he started doing some different things. He stopped carrying a bass player for a while.
Yeah.
But I had a year with Chet Atkins on the plane, and then later I did an album. I did all of the work for Step One Records back in the day, and we did some of the older artists like Farron Young, and I did an album with Floyd Kramer.
Ah.
Well, Floyd really liked my arranging,
Yes.
and so
I like your arranging too.
when he left the company, he kept me as an arranger.
Yes.
So for the next 12 years, I was Floyd Kramer's co-producer and arranger.
See, again, something I never knew. Never knew.
And then he and Chet used Johnny Johnson as bass player at that point, because Johnny knew both shows. But then when they had a show on the same night, somebody else had to go play bass. So
Yeah.
Floyd would take me to play bass, or if he did a symphony date, he'd take me to conduct the orchestra. So those were some good times, you know. And I did, I don't know how many albums. We had one year he was making too much money. So we did 18 master sessions in December so that he could spend all the money and take it off his taxes and then chop it up later in the next year and recoup it in sales. And from there, it's like my bass playing didn't impress Nashville as much as my arranging.
Okay.
So it reached a point to where I was arranging so much that when it came time to play a bass job, I wasn't comfortable because I didn't feel as tight as I should be. So eventually I just had to say, well, there's too many good bass players. I mean, some world-class bass players.
Oh, I know.
Here.
I know.
And so I concentrated on arranging.
Yeah, but you should keep up the bass, though. Do you still?
I still,
you got up on stage with us.
I still play First Baptist Church. I'm the assistant bass player.
Okay.
When their guy's gone, I fill in over there.
So you still flex the muscle.
I still. You'll always be a musician. You never quit being a musician.
Of course.
But from there, I've done a lot of gospel acts. Some of the biggest gospel acts, like Legacy 5. We've won Record of the Year, and I produced and arranged their stuff. And Gold City Quartet, gospel-wise. I wear several hats, so sometimes I'm the copyist, the arranger, or producer, whatever. But I worked on the Carrie Underwood Christmas album.
Wow.
And
wow.
Then I've done several live shows that I worked on, Martina McBride. Vince Gill, we did stuff here in this room with Vince Gill. And I was a peon on that stuff, but we were here and
that's so cool.
Recording.
And do you still work with a lot of solo artists?
Solo artists. Now I'm personally doing more film stuff than anything else.
Okay, well that's a little more.
Yeah, we did the inspirational series, Christian inspirational films. The movie War Room, which was #1 in the nation.
Yes.
I was an orchestrator on that. The movie Woodlawn, which was also a big movie. We did one recently, Indivisible, and we have one coming out in August of this year called Overcomer. And it's a very good
Wow.
sports-related movie about a runner who has to find the inner strength to...
Inspirational.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
So-
I'm so glad you even found the time to work with us.
So Nashville is really doing well with the film industry
Well, I
because...
think the whole business is booming with film, right?
It
It's-
is.
It's not just a Los Angeles.
Well, there was a time where you had to have $20 million to make a movie.
Yeah.
And now they have cameras that are high quality that you can buy for $5,000.
Yep.
And you can shoot a film on it. So you can make a movie for $500,000 or $1 million and make
Find
a
the right
good
people
movie.
who know how to
Yeah.
operate the equipment.
Yeah,
and
so,
all that.
I knew 20 years ago that it was moving in that direction. So I
Yeah.
went to Watkins Film Institute and
Yeah.
offered free services to learn how to sync my music to the picture.
That's
you know,
great.
and
That was
so,
smart.
For 20 years I've been working towards that, and there's a few that I have been composer on, and then sometimes I'm the copyist and the orchestrator and the
You're
subordinate
really the
people.
go-to guy for a lot of these.
Well, yeah, I'm in the music industry. I'm not a gospel music guy. I'm not a country music guy. I have 2 classical degrees, but yet I've produced bluegrass albums. I'm a music industry guy.
Yes.
My job is, if you say I want heavy metal, it's my job to know how to make it sound heavy metal.
Yeah,
And if
yeah.
you say, oh, no, we want to do bluegrass, I know what not to do
Yeah.
and what to do. I know how you play the bass different for bluegrass than you do country. And that's my job.
Interesting.
I'm a specialist in the recording studio, and that's what I do, all genres of
you're
music.
good. You're good working with you today. I knew. Okay, Laura, bring your game. Bring the A game.
Well, it's not hard when I'm working with
No.
your caliber of talent. So.
No, you clearly know your stuff.
The thing about it, my name goes on the back of the album.
Yeah.
And I'm content with that. I have no desire to be the front headliner, and some people, they like to be on stage because they want to be the flash in the scene. And
Sure.
I'm a studio guy.
Yeah.
We want our credits, and it can be in small letters, but
You're the
we're on
master
the
chef.
back. We're not on the front. So
Yeah.
I have no problem with. Well, Ray Price. I was also Ray Price's arranger until his death, and it didn't bother me that Ray Price was the big thing on the front.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be. He has that set of talent that makes him the headliner,
Yeah.
and I'm the support guy on the back.
Well, that's okay because everybody here knows who you are, and you're the one they call.
And there's satisfaction when you hear something playing on the radio
Yeah.
that you have, or particularly you're sitting in a theater, and if you want to see my credits on those movies, since music's the last thing that gets done,
Yeah.
you have to wait to the very end. After the caterers get credit before me.
Oh, that's insane.
The caterers and the cleanup crew. Because the music is the very last thing, because they may still be editing and changing.
That's why.
So music is the last
So
thing.
it's the
Even in the
last-
big movies, it's the last thing. And so our credits
Of course.
usually are the last credits that get typed in.
Because you're probably tweaking up until right before the release,
Yeah.
right? Before they lock it.
Right, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's not right. I get it, but it's not right.
It's not right if that bothers you. It doesn't bother me at all, just to be on the
Just
movie.
stay through the end. You'll see my name.
I can still watch the movie Hoodwinked and see my name on that movie. That's enough for me.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Well, we're honored and thrilled again just to have you on the team.
Well, you come back anytime.
Oh, I will soon, very soon.